Alyssa, thank you for coming today. Welcome to the podcast.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. We're really excited to be here.
Oh, great. We're going to just jump right in. So tell us a little bit about your role at the Spokane Transit Authority, which most people know as STA.
I am the business development specialist at STA. And our business, of course, is providing people with safe, reliable public transportation. So developing that business involves working with institutions, businesses, nonprofits, schools, to help match them up with a bus pass program that meets their needs, whether it's getting kids to school safely through our Youth Ride Free program or helping create commute programs for businesses that want to incentivize their employees not to drive alone. And then also empowering riders to use the bus system. So ridership is our business also, making sure that people feel knowledgeable and comfortable about how to access the transit system in whatever way works for them. So we do a lot of public outreach, how to ride sessions, tabling, workshops, whatever makes sense to get out in the community and talk to people about the bus.
Great. So you do all that.
Yes.
Sounds like you and your colleagues.
Yes, absolutely. I'm part of the communications department. We have an outreach team.
Great.
It's a very flexible role sometimes, what that means. So
great. And right now, STA has a pilot program for the Opportunity Reduced Fare.
Mm-hmm.
And would you tell us a little bit about that program, who's eligible for it, and what the discount is for that?
Yes. Opportunity Fare is our first ever income-based reduced fare opportunity for people. So you can qualify for a 50% fare reduction. Bus fare is usually $2 for a 2-hour period or $4 for a whole day. So it's $1 with Opportunity Fare, $2 for a whole day, $30 for the whole month.
Okay.
And it's income-based. So the qualification for it, the evidence that we need of that income qualification is enrollment in DSHS basic food benefits or Spokane Housing Authority enrollment. So either living on one of those properties or having a Spokane Housing Authority voucher. So either of those two work as evidence for your eligibility.
Okay.
And will qualify you for that 50% fare reduction for 1 year from the date of approval.
Okay.
So that's a question we get a lot as well. Like,
how
my
long
income
does it last?
fluctuates or my benefits fluctuate.
Sure.
From the day you're approved, it's a 1-year approval. And at the end of that, you'll have to reapply and re-enroll.
Okay. And so how long does, pilot programs, we've done a few at the library, they last for a certain amount of time. Like that's the pilot, there's an end date. So does this have an end date? And is there a chance, or what determines if it'll be picked up as a regular program, not just a pilot one?
Yeah. So this one went live at the beginning of December 2025, and it was approved for 2 years or $1.14 million of cost.
Okay.
So when it hits either the time limit or the cost cap, the pilot program will end, and our board will look at all of the data from the program. So how many people took advantage of it, what the ridership was like, how it may have benefited people, and they'll make a decision at that time whether to implement it permanently.
Okay. Cool.
Yes. We're going to have a tracker on our website for the funding piece, just so people, especially people who are enrolled, can keep tabs if it's going to end prematurely before that 2-year mark.
That makes sense. Okay. And I did a little sleuthing on the website and saw that there are other reduced fare programs. In fact, one of them at like 8 of our libraries, the Riders Pass for the youth, they can come to the library and get that from the library. So we've worked with you guys on that pass or that fare. Can you talk about some of the other or that one? Reduced fares?
Yes, absolutely. So really appreciate partnering with the libraries to spread the word about Youth Ride Free.
Right.
That's everyone under the age of 19. So 18-year-olds qualify for that important transitional year. Yeah. Maybe they're enjoying their last summer or getting their first job, whatever that looks like. They can still ride for free. They can get the rider's license at the public library, which we love. The other reduced fare programs, we have a Stars and Stripes program for active duty military or veterans. That's also a 50% reduced fare. Our Honored Rider program is for everyone over the age of 60 or with a disability. That's 50% as well.
Okay.
And then we have a student program. So any kind of school that you might be enrolled in, whether that's a trade school, a beauty school. We've had people apply with online courses that they needed to get to the library to participate in. That one's only a 20% discount.
Okay.
It's important to note, too, that our reduced fare programs don't stack.
Okay.
So there is no 50 on 50 if
50
you're
20 on 50
a veteran over 60 and then it becomes free. At this time, that's not how it works.
Oh.
So if you have a qualification for one of those programs at 50%, that's the best
That's the
discount
one
for
to
you.
use.
Yes,
If you're also a
absolutely.
student over 60 or whatever, the 65,
Yeah.
just use the, what was it, Honored?
Yes, Honored Rider for over 60. And that's important to note with the Opportunity Fare, too. If you do qualify for any of the other programs, we really recommend applying for those instead because this is a pilot program. So we wouldn't want someone to lose their qualification, have to go through paperwork to reapply or hit the end of the pilot period when they've been 62 this whole time and could have been an Honored Rider for the rest of their life.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Path of least resistance.
Yeah, totally.
And least paperwork.
Can you talk a little bit about affordable, accessible transport and how it impacts like the community and people's like well-being and all of that, sort of keeping people connected?
Yes.
About that?
And connect is such a key word. As you know, or maybe don't know, our bus passes are called Connect cards.
Oh, there you go.
Yes. Our mission statement is connecting people to opportunity. Lots of buzzwords hit today. Opportunity, fare, connection. It's really important people be able to participate in community, right? Whether that's going to work or school, groceries, doctor's appointments, social gatherings, the library. And not everyone can do that in their own vehicle for all kinds of reasons.
Right.
It's super expensive.
Some people don't even have a car. I have a parent that I know that they walk. They're close enough. They walk to school. They're close enough. Like they picked their residence based on how close it was to everything they needed.
Yeah.
Because the car is a big responsibility.
It's a big responsibility.
Financially.
Yes. Especially when gas is $5 a gallon.
Gas, insurance. Yeah, it's a lot.
Mm-hmm. And not everyone chose to get a license, is able to get a license, is able to drive.
Yeah.
Whatever the reason is, it's still important that those people have access to the lives outside of their homes.
Absolutely.
So a thriving public transit system that can connect people to where they're trying to go is really crucial for that. And it's an important option even if you do have a car and it breaks down or driving is really stressful. Maybe commuting is really stressful. Winter driving is really stressful.
Mm-hmm. Especially in this area when we have snow and stuff. It's,
Absolutely. We have so many people, too, that work in far-flung parts of town. Right. And it's nice to be able to save on gas money and get some of your time back. You can read, you can listen to podcasts, you can talk to people.
When I was here going to college, we had one car, and my husband needed it because he had the kids, he had all the things that he had to do. Mm-hmm. So I took the bus out to Cheney 5 days a week. Yeah, it was very convenient.
Absolutely.
I lived, luckily, like two blocks walking from the bus stop, and I was just like, yes.
And that would have been a long drive or a long bike ride, an impossible bike ride.
It's a 25, 30-minute, 40-minute ride. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you're trying to, I couldn't walk it.
No,
couldn't walk.
Several days maybe.
Even biking, like it's too hilly. I'm South Hill, then you got to go down, and then you got to up to the sort of the Cheney Spokane Road if you're going to go that way. It was too much.
In the hilly comment is a great point too. Even my boss loves to bike ride in the summer, and it's downhill all the way to work, which means uphill all the way back. So sometimes he'll just
put the bike on the front
of the bus and take that ride home.
That makes sense. 100%.
Well, and another benefit I don't know that people always think about, especially people who, for whatever other reason, are really focused on driving their cars. Mm-hmm. is how much the bus system clears up traffic and congestion for everyone else as well to make everyone's commute more comfortable. Our buses, hold 60, 80, 100 people
Yeah.
that would otherwise be in more cars on the road.
Exactly.
So having that mass transit option
Mhm.
makes everyone's commute easier.
That's great. And then also, I know more people are buying, like, electric vehicles or hybrids, but the
Yeah.
bus, I've noticed the buses, there's electric buses, is that
Yes.
and so they're helping with that pollution from cars?
Yes, yes. And they're also way quieter.
They are.
Um,
I remember them
yeah.
not being as quiet 20 years ago.
No, absolutely. Couldn't talk if there's one passing by. It's not like that anymore. About 30% of our whole fleet are electric or hybrid buses,
Nice.
which is really helpful. We're currently maxed out on our electric capacity at
Okay.
our bus barn. So looking at different alternatives
Great.
for alternative energy going forward, but
Yeah,
still quite a bit of the fleet.
absolutely. I thought of something just a minute ago, but now it's left my brain. We'll keep going.
Yes, it might come back.
Oh, yeah, you're having, open houses to talk about the
Mhm.
Opportunity Program and get people signed up at the library. You wanna talk a little bit about what people can expect if they come? Say they don't know anything, they haven't even seen this podcast, but they show up because they're interested in reduced fares. So
Mhm.
what can they find out, and what can they do at your open house?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
We are visiting as many of the libraries as we can for a couple hour intervals to talk reduced fare, to talk opportunity. So we'll be there with lots of information and ready for
I
conversation
see
with
a
people.
flyer,
Yes.
actually.
Oh,
Hold it up.
one of a great many flyers. But importantly, we'll be there too to talk to people,
Right.
to figure out what their situation is, whether they need trip planning help, have some questions about riding the bus, or want to get matched up to a reduced fare program.
Nice.
We'll have paper applications. We'll have computers to help fill out applications right on the spot for people, set them up with a card that would activate a couple of days later. We need time to process and authenticate the application, but they can walk away with a card that within a few days would have their reduced fare on it, ready
Nice.
to ride. And we'll also just be happy to talk shop, to talk bus shop
Nice.
with anyone who comes by.
That's great. And I think you mentioned this is what I came back to me. You mentioned something about getting comfortable riding, and there's some programs, I think, or some people that help like train you how to read a bus map, like how to read where do you want to go and figure out which bus to take.
Yes.
That's a program? We didn't really plan to talk about it, but can
Yeah,
you share a little bit about that?
absolutely. There are a ton of different ways to ride, to navigate, to trip plan, especially if you haven't done it before. It can be really daunting. And the idea of missing a bus or taking the wrong bus can be scary for people. So we have a ton of resources on our website. We've got some great video series that were produced by youth and geared towards youth for our Youth Ride Free program. But I find them really helpful too. They really break down the process of
Nice.
learning to ride from start to finish. And then we are available to come out and do how to ride trainings for
Nice.
like schools and businesses and things.
Nice.
And then for individual riders who are looking for that extra help or someone to walk them through it for the first time, we partner with Spokane SMS, so
Okay.
Special Mobility Services.
Yep.
And you can find their info online. We also have a link to them on our website.
Nice.
So they do that more one-on-one individualized travel training.
Yeah. When my daughter started going to SCC and, she's there for a special program, she went through that program.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is why I was interested, like, tell a little bit more because it's really helpful.
Yes.
Person came out, rode the bus with her to, or no, maybe it was on the way home, but anyway, from SCC to our home, and,
Mhm.
it was she had it, like, they went through all the things, like, this is the number, if they're a little bit late, you just wait, different things. Anyway, it's a great service.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And sometimes you don't know what it is you don't know, and you just need that person with you
Yeah,
to explain it to you, and then you're
exactly.
ready to go and do it exactly like that all over again.
Right, and since then, she's had a few different routes to do some different things. So she knows what she's doing now. She's got it figured out.
Mhm.
So I love it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's riding the bus 5 days a week.
Nice.
So, yeah.
You'll have to take a trip with her.
We keep saying that, and then we just take the car.
Bloomsday's coming up. If you're running Bloomsday,
Oh, that's a good
jump
one.
on a shuttle.
Yep, that's true.
There's a Bloomsday plug.
She can actually lead us wherever we want to go. So we have the open houses. Now, if somebody can't make an open house at the library,
Mhm.
what are some ways they can learn more about the different fairs and which ones if it's opportunity or a different one that they can qualify for?
We have all of that on our website, SpokaneTransit.com/reduced fare, all one word, or SpokaneTransit.com/opportunity.
Okay.
So really easy to access and apply online if people are comfortable doing it that way. If you'd prefer a conversation and can't make the open house, you can do 509-328-RIDE. 509-328-RIDE.
Got that memorized.
Yes.
It's ready to go.
It's an easy one. And that'll take us to customer service.
Great.
There's language assistance there as well for people who would prefer a translator on that call.
Right.
And can chat up about what program works for them and the easiest way to apply. Or you can physically come down to the plaza at 701 West Riverside, downtown.
The big one?
Yes. Yes.
Giant plaza.
It's hard to miss. And if you go into customer service there, you could do the application on the spot if you brought the right documents, or they can walk you through how to do it in the future.
Okay.
So those are always available resources for reduced fare and many, many more.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
And we will definitely put all the links in the descriptions for the podcast. So if you didn't write that down, or if you're driving and you say, hey, I should drive less.
Yes.
You're listening and driving. Come back to the podcast later and links will be there for you.
Yes. Love that. That's awesome. Hopefully people are listening to this in their cars.
That'd be
thinking...
cool. I hope so. We're on Spotify, Apple, all the places, Google.
And they're thinking, any events that I have coming up downtown that I don't want to park for, I should try the bus.
Yes. I was thinking about that. I was also thinking about a night out. You can look at the bus route, and if you're going to a concert at the Myrtle Woodson Theater at Gonzaga, you can figure out how to get home if you're going to have some wine.
Oh, absolutely.
Something like that. So
safe travels both ways.
Yeah. We
have park and rides. We have 14 park and rides around the system.
That's great.
So you can drive and take the bus straight in if you're worried it's going to be a traffic nightmare around campus, maybe, or around the arena.
Well, the arena. That's a smart one, too.
Yes. Yep.
Absolutely. Well, Spokane Transit Authority. Just serving all of Spokane County in wonderful ways.
That's the goal. Yep.
Thank you so much. I just also wanted to plug, I just thought of this. Definitely if they can make it down to the plaza, but if they live close to a library, come into the library because we'll get you hooked up with the website. If you need to make a call, we'll get you that number. We have the rider fare, the passes, the rider passes for the kids, for the youth at the library. So you can just come in and get it right there. Yeah. So the library can also help get you connected to STA if you're not able to actually physically get down there and you're not sure what to do. So
we are so appreciative of that.
Yeah.
You at the library are knowledgeable about so many things, and we're really grateful that transit is one of them.
Our librarians and our employees really know how to find out stuff.
Yes.
If you've got a question.
Like it's your job.
It's pretty much their job.
Yes.
They've got it all figured out.
Yes. Well, an opportunity fair too. So these beautiful brochures, I think, are available at all of your library locations right now. And like we talked about, we will be as well physically on site over the next few weeks, and then hopefully into the summer as well.
Yep. And we have that on our event calendar. You can put in open house, STA, opportunity, to just search for it and find it and come on down to the open house.
Yes. Okay. Come see us.
Thank you so much, Alyssa. We appreciate you coming in.
Yes. Thank you for having me.